What is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I'm back with another video with my love, Nick.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great. Well, you guys, I was going to make a video about Jaclyn Hill, but I was like, I really don't feel like talking about her right now. So I tweeted out the other day that I have fallen down a whole bunch of rabbit holes with like Ryan Murphy and conspiracy theories, but with this Chinese balloon that's been floating around, like everybody is talking about it. You can't get on social media without somebody talking about this damn balloon, right?
Yeah.
So I was scrolling TikTok as one does, and I came across something that was honestly kind of alarming to me because I feel like we all buy into these conspiracies a little bit because like Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Ryan Murphy of American Horror Story, all these people feed into this stuff that...
Well, I don't know if I'm buying into conspiracy theories because of Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star.
Well, no, but they popularize it. That's what I mean. Okay. Like, they talk about it. Like, you have, like, people like Joe Rogan talking about all this different stuff with mushrooms and stuff. It's wild on the internet. It's a crazy time to be alive because on one TikTok or one video you watch, it can say one thing and then you can get something completely different. And, like, people make up all kinds of things, right? Yes. But with this balloon, I have like felt some kind of way about it because it's very strange and peculiar to me that there's just some random balloon floating around, right? But it has really taken TikTok by storm. Everybody over there is talking about it. And I had a TikTok come across my feed and it showed me this video by Metallica that we're going to get into in a minute. But I wanted to play the TikTok for you guys so you could see what I'm talking about because it's honestly crazy.
All right, so we've all heard about this Chinese spy balloon. So there's a video from 2008 by Metallica called All Nightmare Long. And it's about this balloon that comes over to the U.S. that releases spores in the air, as you can see from this picture from the video. And here's another picture from the video and how it went on its course. Just like the spy balloon went all across the U.S. What it ultimately did was make everybody zombies. All right, so there's a show on HBO called The Last of Us, and it was released this year. And it's about an outbreak. And then I found this article about it. It says how a fungal pandemic could really happen. It says in HBO's The Last of Us, the zombie apocalypse comes to us as a fungal pandemic. Colorful mushrooms bloom from the brains of the infected. And it's about this zombie fungus that takes over ants' bodies and controls their minds. That's the fungi that they're actually talking about. But I want to bring y'all's attention to December 2nd, 2022. This article was made. It says zombie viruses are thawing and melting permafrost because of climate change. In Revelation chapter 6, it says, when the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, come. Then another horse came out, a fiery red one. Its rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. To him was given a large sword. So when does this red horse appear? In Zechariah chapter 1, it says, on the 24th day of the 11th month, which is in the month of Shabbat, in the second year of Darius, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Zechariah. Verse 8 says, I saw in the night, and behold, a man riding on a red horse. So when is the 24th day of the 11th month, which is Shabbat? The 24th of Shabbat lands on February the 15th of this year. It says it's the 11th month of the year according to the biblical reckoning and the 5th month of the civil year. The word for tribe, and it carries two meanings, each a stick, staff, and rod. Zechariah chapter 14, it says, this is the plague with which the Lord will strike all the nations that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh will rot while they are standing on their feet. Their eyes will rot in their sockets, and their tongues will rot in their mouths. I just thought this was all very interesting.
That is a lot to unpack. There was a lot going on in that, so I wanted to talk about that just a little bit. So first, we've watched The Last of Us.
I love this show.
I loved the games.
So good.
The Last of Us 1 is like one of my all-time favorite games because the storytelling, the visuals, like it's one of the best games of all time, right? And I love The Last of Us 2. I even got you into it. So I'm like super stoked that they made this TV series. But if you don't know what The Last of Us is, basically it's about this fungus infection that spreads and it mutates to take over people and they become somewhat like zombies, but they're not zombies. And like these funguses can communicate with one another. It's just very creepy. They have these things called clickers. It's the stuff of nightmares. And basically it's just like this post-apocalyptic like story about this person that is immune. I won't get much further into it because I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's a very good show. And the fact that this music video has all this like propaganda and stuff in it with this like balloon and stuff, like I watched this music video, obviously I can't put it in, but I did get some screenshots that I wanted to talk about that just like blew my mind a little bit. So let's talk about that really quickly. So this song is Metallica All Nightmare Long, and it's basically about what the girl explained, like a zombie outbreak, people eating one another, all that kind of stuff. And if you read the captions that are on the screen, here's one that says, a new discovery finds that barium produces spore cell death. Then at another point in time, it says the spore is under our control, just like in The Last of Us, like these things communicate and they can control one another. It's very strange and weird. And then it pops up like this map, and it has this balloon going across the screen. Then it says the strike is carried out not by bomber, but balloon. Then it flashes to a map and says, our inevitable revolution spreads across a continent born by wind itself. And this came out in 2008, right?
Yes.
Is this not even the slightest bit, like, bothersome to you? Like, this is kind of, like, alarming.
It's very bothersome that they let that balloon just, like, travel across the whole United States.
No, I completely agree, too, because we shouldn't have, like, things in our airspace. I think that's a big no-no. But the fact that this was posted in 2008, and, you know, like, with the Illuminati and all this different stuff, they say that they show us what's going to happen in media, in music videos, and movies, and television shows. So for this to come out in 2008, that's been a long time now. Like, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but that's a long time. I can't even believe that this doesn't even have like a disclaimer on the music video, like when you watch it.
But what are they gonna say?
But when I made a video about the Illuminati, or just even mentioned the Illuminati, I got like a thing under it talking about what the Illuminati was, like a Wikipedia article.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, like I guess it's like part of fact checking or something, but like the fact that this is in a music video and there's not that many people talking about this, like I had to come on here and talk about this. So I wanted to read like the synopsis of what this basically is. So I went over to Wikipedia and I looked up All Nightmare Long, and it says it's a song by American heavy metal band Metallica, released as the second single from the album Death Magnetic. The single was released on December 15th, 2008.
I don't think I've ever heard the song.
I had never heard this song either. It's just really strange that people are going back and finding things like this now, and it's so like on par with what's going on in the world now. It's like eerily weird and scary. And then we've had like all this different stuff. Remember a couple weeks ago they had like those weird looking clouds over Turkey?
Yes.
And now we have like earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, just like devastating people.
There was one in Buffalo.
Yeah, there was one in Buffalo, New York, which is so weird.
Can I just say something like really weird speaking of the balloon that China like had to go across our country, I have seen people, you want to talk about like weird shit that's going on because of this balloon? I saw people protesting the fact that we shot it down over like Myrtle Beach or wherever it was, and you know how they're protesting? They're going outside in like white shirts and they have white balloons, and they are releasing the white balloons up into the sky to stand in solidarity with
I'm pretty sure that all
balloon.
The people that are doing that have brain rot, because why would you protest something like that? Like, that is a national security issue for one. But
they're fucking up the environment.
What's really funny to me is the fact that it got shot down in Myrtle Beach. If you know, Myrtle Beach is not really a place you should go. It's not really that safe there. There's a lot that goes on down there that's not safe. So for it to get shot down over Myrtle Beach is actually kind of funny for me, being a native North Carolinian, visiting Myrtle Beach so much in my life.
What was the meme that even the Chinese balloon couldn't go through Myrtle Beach without getting shot?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's where we're at. But I wanted to read the synopsis of this music video because this tells you a lot more than what you would just get from watching the video. It says the music video, directed by Robo Shobo, debuted on December 7th, 2008 on Metallica's website and Yahoo Video. Do you remember Yahoo Video?
I do.
I feel like that was like the first of music videos. I would be in high school and we would all sneak on the computers when we were in class and watch music videos. Like Nelly Dilemma with Kelly Rowland was like everybody.
That wasn't the first of the first. I remember like watching, like sneaking. You know what video it was? It was Lil' Kim, How Many Licks was the video. And it was on a bunny ear TV, and you would have to position it with the aluminum foil on the TV.
I'm talking about like on social media and like
well girl, I'm telling you what the first music video that I saw, because you could position that thing perfectly, and if you got it at the right time, you could have a free music video.
Girl, I had cable when we had MTV.
I didn't have cable. I grew up poor as shit.
I watched all the stuff on. I would sneak at night and watch Beavis and Butthead when my mom and dad were like in their room, and I would sit like really close and watch it, and when they would come up the hallway, I would turn it off. Like, they had to know I was being
I didn't have cable. I didn't know what cable was until I was probably like 12.
Anyway, it says the video, which does not feature the band, is an alternate history narrative done in grainy mockumentary style, depicting a sequence of fictional events following the historic 1908 Tunguska event, at which Soviet scientists discover spores of an extraterrestrial organism, a small harmless thing resembling an armored worm. Now, one of my favorite videos when I was a kid was actually Night of the Meteor, I think. And basically in that movie, this meteor like crashes into Earth, and these people are out like having a Halloween party, and they all turn into zombies. And there's like one or two people that are left alive, and this girl like basically has to survive after like the apocalypse because this thing like radiated people and turned them into zombies.
How fucking awful.
Like, I feel like we live in a video game. Like,
Well-
I almost believe simulation theory now.
Oh, so you think like maybe somewhere in another galaxy or something, there's like a planet and they all have like a game headset on and they're us?
Maybe.
So like when we die, does that mean that it's like game over, it flashes on their screen and they're like...
I don't know, but I've fallen down this rabbit hole with like conspiracy theories, and there's a whole like quantum immortality thing where basically it says that if you die, you wouldn't even know it because you would just carry on in a parallel universe. Which is weird, right?
Yeah. Oh, can we just talk about this for a second? Like, let's talk about the scenario that this happens and this like zombie outbreak happens. Would you rather be a survivor or would you just like ask for it to be over? I feel like I would be like, you know what? I've lived a good life. I've had fun, but I'm not about to sit out here and fight some fucking zombies.
I'm not
So
like
you
I'm
know
not
what?
fighting
I'm just
zombies. Like, I don't think I would run into a horde of like the
No.
undead, but I don't think that I would want to stick around if that makes sense.
I would find a
what
way
would
to
be the
handle
quality
it.
of life?
I'd
Like,
find a way to handle it.
I mean, I
but-
would give it my best shot, my best college try, but at the end of the day, I'm not
Yeah.
fighting a horde of zombies for a can of pork and beans.
I'd probably like give it like 6 months.
Yeah.
If it's not getting better out there, there's no hope, like no chance of survival. Like after that, then I'm like, you know what? It's been good.
Anyway, we got so off topic. It says, it turns out the incredibly hardy spores are able to reanimate dead tissue and objects turn violent sometime after exposure to the spores. A cartoon then shows the USSR adapting to them and subjects turn violent sometime after exposure to the spores. A cartoon then shows the USSR adapting them as a bioweapon and scatters them from balloons in a preemptive strike against the US, causing a localized zombie apocalypse before intervening militarily to distribute humanitarian aid. At the end of the cartoon, a hybrid USSR flag is raised and is now the Soviet-ruled America in 1972. A headless corpse is shown breaching containment and escaping from a Soviet biowarfare lab. The uncensored version of the music video ends with an incident in Arkansas similar to the start of the video, with various news reporters reporting on chemtrails. And like, if you watch Conspiracy Talk, people have been talking about like chemtrails for years.
Yeah.
Like, I remember back at one point in time when like there used to be all kinds of videos on YouTube about like conspiracy theories, and that's what I watched. And they ended up like removing all that stuff, and I feel like TikTok is really the place to go get that stuff now. The only person you see that makes videos that gets views on that is Shane Dawson. But this is so eerily similar to what's going on today. Like, it's scary.
It is very scary. No, it is. It's terrifying. It actually is.
But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below about all that. What do you think of this music video versus what is actually going on in the world today? Is it not like just freakishly similar? And I wanted to play another TikTok for you. Now, a lot of people know who Nostradamus is. Have you ever heard of Nostradamus? He like made all these prophecies and predictions and stuff. And this TikTok came across my timeline today, and I was just like, oh God, here we go. So let's watch this, and then we'll be back with more commentary.
Nostradamus was a 16th century doomsday astrologer, doctor, accused heretic and bearded seer that has been credited with predicting the Great Fire of London, Hitler's rise to power, the September 11, 2001 attacks and the COVID-19 pandemic, to name a few. Referred to as the Prophet of Doom, Nostradamus's dark worldview is believed to have been shaped by the Old Testament, and the trauma of losing his wife and young children to illness. Nostradamus had a knack for predicting chaos in the future. His predictions can be found in his book, Les Prophéties, published in 1555. Nostradamus gave the world and its future generations a tome that predicts wars, pestilence, natural disasters, civil unrest, political assassinations and a host of other difficulties. Nostradamus's predictions for 2023 include more trouble for the royals. He writes that a celestial fire will hit the royal edifice. Taken literally, it could mean a meteor is headed straight for Buckingham Palace, or metaphorically it could mean dark days ahead for King Charles and his family. Nostradamus says that in the year 2023 the world will find itself embroiled in 7 months of a great war, and many people will die at the hands of evil. This prediction could certainly apply to the devastating conflict between Russia and Ukraine, a war with a very heavy civilian death toll. In terms of the evil Nostradamus blames, many people see Vladimir Putin as the source. The prophecy points to the conflict escalating into a full-scale world war in 2023 which, given Russia's nuclear arsenal and the open talk of launching missiles, the world could quickly see apocalyptic levels of destruction. Nostradamus writes that in or around 2023, the Antichrist will very soon arrive and 27 years his war will last. The unbelievers are dead, captive, exiled. With blood, human bodies, water and a red hail will cover the earth. Nostradamus describes the Antichrist as a charismatic man with bloodlust, and he could very well be a current global politician.
Now, I mentioned in the beginning of this video Ryan Murphy because I am going to do a dedicated video to Ryan Murphy and all the conspiracy theories that he's put into American Horror Story. But if you look back, American Horror Story Apocalypse was actually about the Antichrist. And listen, you can believe in what you want to believe in. I think all the stories are really basically the same about somebody coming to the planet that's evil, right? And he had Michael Langdon, who basically was the Antichrist, and he called out all these different people to build these bunkers, and he said a whole bunch of different stuff that was very like weird and very targeted and pointed for me, because he had a clip where he had this meeting with all these people in this group called the Cooperative, and he talks about somebody owning land in Bora Bora, and he talks about somebody having like a bunker in Texas, and we all know that to be like George Bush. And it's just like stuff like this is weird to me when people predict things and then our present time like mirrors what's being predicted. Do you think it's like manifestation? People are manifesting this, or do you think that this is a possibility? Because I live in the world and the reality that anything's possible.
Time travelers.
I believe that life imitates art, and I believe that people in the Illuminati, if you will, do put messages and subliminals and things to let us know, and it just freaks me out a little bit.
But how did they know?
Because allegedly they say it's all planned. So like this whole like balloon thing has like really opened my eyes to things that I didn't necessarily pay attention to before, because this music video thing is just way too much for me.
Well, you know who always predicts things is The Simpsons.
Oh, they
The Simpsons
do.
are
They're
always
time
getting things
travelers,
right.
dude.
They have to be.
It's
for
very
sure.
weird. Like they predicted
For
what
sure.
Donald Trump being president.
Yeah.
They've predicted all kinds of crazy things. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Like the music video thing has me shook, and then you have like this whole thing about Nostradamus in 2023 and like the end of the world and like the cataclysm that is to come. Like my anxiety can't really take much more. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I know this video is all over the place per usual. We're a little bit baked. But if you made it all the way through this video, leave me a green heart down below, because that is my thing. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.
Bye.
Bye, guys.